Hey Valley Middle, welcome back to another math video. Tonight we're going to be multiplying positive and negative mixed numbers. Before we do that, let's start off with our trivia question. Just for fun, what was the first American Girl doll ever made? I'll give you the answer to that at the end of our lesson today. Officially tonight our target is I can multiply positive and negative mixed numbers. Let's do this thing. The problem du jour. How do you multiply mixed numbers when one number is negative? All right, well here's the situation. We have a negative 2.5 times 3. Well, if you know how to multiply mixed numbers, you're going to be able to deal with negative mixed numbers. You just deal with the negatives at the end. So here's your mixed number, 2 1/2. I made it into an improper fraction. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 halves. Here's my negative 5 halves. I'm multiplying it times 3. I'm going to make that into a fraction, call it 3 over 1. So then I can just multiply straight across. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 1 is 2. We've got 15 halves. We simplify negative 15 halves down to a negative 7 1/2. Let's take and review some vocabulary. First of all, mixed number, it's a whole number with a fraction attached. An improper fraction, that's where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. In order to work with and multiply and divide mixed numbers, you have to turn them into improper fractions. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7 halves. I made that into 7 halves. And then I can multiply it by negative 10 here, or negative 10 over 1. Just multiply straight across. 7 times 10 is a negative 70. 2 times 1 is 2, so I have negative 70 divided by 2. That's just negative 35. Remember, a positive times a negative is a negative. Negative times a negative is a positive. The way I remember it, the old even-odd rule. If you've got an even number of negative symbols, when you're multiplying or dividing, you're going to have a positive quotient or product. If you have an odd number of negative symbols, you are going to have a negative product or quotient. Just a real quick review here. Again, how to make a mixed number into an improper fraction. Multiply down, add the top. 4 times 4, 16, plus 1, 17/4. Carry the negative if there's a negative there, so it's a negative 17/4. Changing an improper into a mixed, well, this is just division. 19 divided by 3, so 19 divided by 3, it goes in there 6 times, and there's one part out of 3 left over, so it's 6 1/3. Again, if there's a negative, carry the negative through. It's a negative 6 1/3. Now, this isn't a negative 6 and a positive 1/3. When you have a mixed number, this is a negative 6 plus a negative 1/3. Everything's negative. Kind of like that first girlfriend. All right, let's keep moving. Multiplying mixed numbers here. So what is 4 9/10 times a negative 1/2? I just wrote out some directions over here. First of all, you should change them to mixed numbers to improper fractions. So 4 times 10, 40 plus 9. Here's my 49/10 for the first one. We've already got a fraction right here at 1/2. So we can reduce if we want. In this case, I can't cross reduce it all. So I just multiply straight across. 49 times 1 is 49. 10 times 2 is 20, so I have 49/20. I had a positive times a negative, so my product here, it's a negative 49/20. And when I simplify that, I've got that down to a negative 2 9/20. Pretty straightforward, right? Yeah, it should be. We've done this before. All right, here's another one. Negative 2 2/3 times a negative 1 1/8. Now I've got a couple of mixed numbers here, so I'll change them both into improper fractions. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 it gives me my negative 8/3. I got 1 times 8 is 8, plus 1 is negative 9/8. So I've made them both into improper fractions. I can reduce here if I want to, but let's just pretend I don't know how to do that, or I don't like to do that. You can just multiply straight across. 8 times 9 is 72. 3 times 8 is 24. Now you've got a negative times a negative, so that's a positive 72/24. Just divide it out, and these can both divide by 24, and 72 divided by 24 is 3. All right, let's take a look at that same problem with what I like to call the shortcuts when you cross-reduce. Same problem, negative 2 2/3 times negative 1 1/8. So I'm going to get this out of here. So I took and made those both into improper fractions, and now I'm just going to cross-reduce. I can divide by 8 here. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 8 divided by 8 here is 1. I can cross-reduce this way as well. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now I've got this new fractions. I've got 1 over 1 and 3 over 1. Now when I multiply straight across, I've got 3 over 1. I've got 3. It's a beautiful thing. Works out just slick. All right. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it though. I just don't like dealing like in this problem here where you've got a larger number here, larger numerators and denominators. If you do all the cross reducing right, you really have minimal work to do when simplifying. All right, quick look at the bottom lines. You need to turn mixed numbers into improper fractions. I know you're going to try to do it the other way. It's not going to work. You need to reduce or multiply straight across. No common denominators needed here. All right, and then reduce and rewrite those, and then deal with the negatives at the end. Double check, even at the end, go back and see, are these both positives? Are they both negatives? How is that going to impact my solution? All right, a couple of pause problems here. Go ahead and pause the video and try working on this problem right here. We have negative 1 2/3 times 2 1/4. Go ahead and pause it. I see 10 people. Okie dokie then. That one never gets old, huh? All right. Here we go. I took and made these into improper fractions. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2 gives me 5/3. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 gives me 9/4. I just multiplied straight across. I had 45/12. I can reduce that down into 3 9/12, which I can reduce down to 3 3/4. This is a negative times a positive, so my negative carries through. I have a negative 3 3/4. If you cross reduce like I like to, I've shown my work down here. I'll give you a second to look at that. Just divided both of these here by 3. All right, try another one. Go ahead and pause and try this one. All right, let's see how you did. I cross reduce on this one. I got it down to 7 4/5. I'll let you take a look at my work for a minute. Alrighty then. Let's go to the ticket to the show. Go ahead and try these 2 problems for tomorrow. Don't forget to turn them into improper fractions. Alright, the trivia question of the day. What was the first American Girl doll ever made? Well, you might be surprised. There was actually 3 of them. Samantha, Molly, and Kirsten were the first 3 American Girl dolls that launched the collection in 1986. And there they are. I got the little arrows by them. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.